Should I salt brine my steaks? Today is all about a test, and let me show you what we've got. We've got a 24-hour salt brine steak with salt only. We can go over the brine later. And this is just the same ribeye that has no seasoning, just right out of the refrigerator. We're gonna cook these both side by side on the blackstone griddle and see, is it worth it? Is it worth the salt brine for 24 hours? You guys stay tuned. Okay, so not too long ago, we made a video called How to Cook a Steak on a Flat Top Grill. We used Chuck Eye steaks. The idea was, could the pit boss griddle get a crust? So that video was all about the crust. I was amazed by the comments. I say it all the time, cook what you like to cook. That's the whole point. But the amount of comments that got streamed after that one about how they season their steak blew me away. There was one constant. It was the salt brine. And it started making me thinking, am I missing out? Like, I've been cooking my steaks for a long time. Matter of fact, I cook in the steakhouse. We never salt brined our steaks. My wife can attest. She thinks I make the best steaks around.
Best ever.
Do I salt brine my steaks?
Never have ever.
I've never salt brined a steak. So today's gonna be very interesting. I just wanna read a couple comments to kind of prove a point. I've always seasoned the day before and make such a difference in the flavor. When I season my steaks, I salt an hour before and let them sit out to room temp. Someone echoed, I always season the night before with salt only. I season them, I let them come up to room temperature, salt, pepper, and garlic pepper. I season them lightly with salt and pepper 1 day before or 40 minutes before I cook at room temp. Look at the difference of the gap. The same commenter, 1 day before or 40 minutes before. That's very precise.
Specific.
Precise.
You're trying to say precise.
Precise.
Specific.
Thank you. Here is an answer that I thought I related to more. I seasoned before with the exception of salt, which I put on after because cooking will cause the meat to lose moisture. Now, I could go through all these comments and give you everybody's idea, but that's what kept popping up in my mind. Are we doing it right? Is there something out there that's better? And I was on that train about the moisture. As soon as I started doing my research, this is a theory behind it. You put your salt on, I put it on the cooling rack, this steak only. I put it on the cookie rack and let it sit in the refrigerator uncovered for 24 hours. They say that the salt does pull out the moisture, but then it dissolves the salt, and then the steak actually absorbs that flavor back in. Not only do you tenderize the steak, but now you're seasoning the steak from the outside in. It's almost like a salt marinade. So I'm very interested to try it out. Very interested. So my theory behind this is, since this one's already seasoned, I'm not going to do anything else to it. This is just the other ribeye that came in the pack, and all I'm going to do is add salt right now. It's 100% plain, pure as Jane, and we actually picked ribeyes from our collection that does not have a lot of marbling, because I didn't want to bring out like the greatest fat marbled ribeye and then add salt to it and think, oh yes, oh man, it's moist, oh it's tender and all that stuff. So kind of like the exact opposite. Does it really work even on ribeyes that aren't as tender? So just to gauge, I'm just gonna try to do it evenly. If you guys live in the South, you know that you always got rice in your salt.
There's rice.
Time to add more salt. All right, there we go. You ready?
Yes.
Let's go. All right, my griddle's at low. I know it's extremely hot. We're looking at 488 to 515-ish, okay? Very, very light on the oil. I do not want this to compromise anything. You guys always think it's just us out here filming by ourselves. We've got a robin's nest, and it looks like there's 3 in there, but we've seen up to 4, so I don't know where the other one's at, but we always have an audience.
They want some ribeye.
you guys have seen me cook steaks a ton of times. I'm just flipping them back and forth. You guys can check it out. I use my Therm Pro all the time. There's no difference. Set it in there. I don't want to overcook it. Probe it at different temperatures. While our meat's resting, my wife thought it'd be a good idea to tell you this is not how we normally cook our steaks. And I would have to agree. I didn't add any extra seasoning. I just want to know if if we could find the base and build on it, then I think we got something special. If I don't think it's worth it, I'm just going to be brutally honest. There's nothing special or fancy done to these. Literally, this has been brined with salt only for 24 hours. And we put salt on this right before we put it on the flat top. And that's it. We let them rest. I'm just going to go in. Looks like it's overcooked. How we like it, anyways. It seemed like it happened extremely fast. You know, chew faster than that. I know that mouth works harder than that. You talk too much for it to be on low gear. While she's chewing hers, I'm gonna give you my honest opinion. It just tastes like salt. I don't think it made it any tender. I don't think it made it any special. I don't think it did anything to it. I'm not saying that your choice, because you like to do it, doesn't make it the best thing for you, but what do you think?
I like the regular way you cook your steaks 5,000 times better.
Would you salt brine before and then cook the steaks the way it goes?
Give me another bite real quick.
To be fair, going in, we knew these were bad steaks. They didn't have a lot of marbling to begin with. It just tastes salty. I mean, I know that's all I put on it, but another observation to look at it. We put the camera down, now we bring the camera back up. We both said that the salt brine steak definitely has flavor throughout the meat. You can taste it more. There's more salt. But it's drier. The other one has salt on the outside, and you get that initial kick. But it's juicier, but that doesn't mean it's more tender. There's a big difference. You guys with me?
Mm-hmm. I think the salt brined one is easier to chew, but not necessarily more tender.
I don't think it made any of them more tender. I see what you're saying about the texture.
Yeah. It's not necessarily more tender, it's a different texture. The salt brine
Right.
is easier to chew. I really don't think there's much of a difference at all.
I don't either.
I know we need some dang seasoning.
It's hard to eat. I will say this. I know I've been playing around with how long to bring my meat out before I actually grill it or put it on the flat top. I've been experimenting with that. That might be a video that comes up soon to where would you go with the idea of the theory, you bring your meat out and let it rest for an hour up to room temperature and then sear it, or would you bring it right out of the refrigerator and then try it? It'd be interesting. I'm a lot more lenient towards that one after trying this one. Anyways, that's what experiment's all about. It's only my preference. Thank you guys for commenting. Go ahead and comment below. How do you season your steak? Do you like the brine? Have you tried brine? What's your favorite steak seasoning? You do you, because ultimately you're the one that has to eat it. Find us on the Griddle group. Tag us. Let us know what you guys are making. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to press that subscribe button, pound the notification button, share it with your friends.
And check out the short for how to make his 2-ingredient, 5-second
Steak hack.
steak hack plate sauce.